Have you ever wondered why that burning sensation in your chest seems to appear more often as the years go by? Why the slightest change in your routine or meal can turn into a painful battle with your own stomach? For millions of older adults, this has become a silent daily struggle. And the worst part is that many of them are unknowingly starting their day in a way that makes everything worse. Imagine this. You wake up, maybe feeling a little tired from the night, and you walk straight to the kitchen. Like clockwork, you pour yourself a steaming cup of black coffee. No breakfast yet, just the coffee. It's a habit you've had for years, maybe decades. It feels comforting, familiar. But what if that first sip is actually setting your entire digestive system on fire? Drinking black coffee on an empty stomach is like pouring acid into a wound that hasn't healed. As we age, our stomach lining becomes more fragile, more reactive. We produce less protective mucus, and the esophageal valve that separates our stomach from our throat gets weaker. That means acid can rise more easily, causing heartburn, irritation, and even long-term inflammation. So when we introduce a highly acidic drink like coffee with no food to act as a buffer, the damage begins immediately. It doesn't matter if it's organic, fresh, or even decaf. The effect on an empty stomach is the same. It sends a wave of acidity through a digestive system that's already more vulnerable than it used to be. And what usually comes next? A piece of white bread, maybe toasted, with butter or margarine. Simple, right? But this innocent-looking combo is another trigger that keeps the acid flowing. White bread is a refined carbohydrate that digests quickly and provides almost no fiber or protection to your stomach. The butter adds fat, which slows down digestion, causing your stomach to produce even more acid to break it down. Together, this combination fuels discomfort, not immediately perhaps, but gradually, repeatedly, every morning, until one day, that burning sensation becomes a part of your life. But wait, it gets worse. Many seniors try to be healthy by adding a glass of orange juice or a slice of papaya or pineapple to this breakfast. These are fruits, after all. They must be good for digestion, right? Not always. Citrus fruits, even natural ones, are acidic and can further irritate an already inflamed stomach. Pineapple contains an enzyme called bromelain, which aids digestion, but can also increase acidity in sensitive individuals. So the breakfast that was meant to give you energy and wellness actually becomes the starting point of your digestive discomfort. It's like waking up and slowly tightening a knot in your gut without even realizing it. This pattern isn't rare. In fact, it's one of the most common hidden causes of reflux, indigestion, and chronic heartburn in older adults. People blame aging, they blame stress, they blame their medications. And while all of these can play a role, what you eat in the first 30 minutes of your day is often the spark that lights the fire. So what can you do instead? You don't have to give up everything you love, but you do need to make small changes that protect your stomach rather than punish it. Start with something soothing. A warm herbal tea like chamomile or ginger can calm the digestive tract and reduce inflammation. Instead of refined bread, choose a slice of whole grain toast or even a soft boiled egg for gentle protein. Add a spoonful of natural yogurt, which introduces beneficial bacteria and helps rebuild your gut lining. If you still want fruit, go for less acidic options like banana or steamed apple. It's not about being extreme, it's about being aware, especially now. Because as we get older, our body doesn't forgive the same way it used to. What felt like a little discomfort in your 40s can become a daily burden in your 60s and 70s. And when you begin every day with something that slowly breaks you from the inside out, it's only a matter of time before your stomach lets you know it's had enough. There's something deeply personal about digestive pain. It's not just physical. It affects your mood, your appetite, your confidence. You start avoiding certain meals. You begin to fear food. And that fear creates stress. And that stress creates more acid. It becomes a loop, a cruel, exhausting loop. And the most tragic part is that it often starts with one small decision every morning. 1 cup of coffee, 1 piece of toast, 1 glass of juice. That's all it takes. But the power to change this lies in your hands. It's not too late. Your stomach has an incredible ability to heal. And sometimes, healing doesn't require medication or complicated diets. It just needs you to listen, to notice, to care, and to begin the day with something that says, "I'm not here to harm you anymore." Because healing starts with awareness, and awareness starts with asking the simple question you might have never asked before. If any part of this message spoke to you, let us know in the comments below. What habit are you thinking of changing first? And if you found this helpful, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a chance to care for your health a little more each day. After a hearty lunch, there's a natural temptation to rest. The meal has been enjoyed, the belly is full, and the afternoon sun invites you to slow down. For many older adults, this becomes a cherished moment of comfort. A soft chair, a cozy couch, or maybe the familiar rhythm of afternoon television. But hidden behind this peaceful ritual is one of the most underestimated triggers of digestive distress. What feels like relaxation may actually be setting the stage for hours of discomfort, pain, and acid rising silently through your chest and throat. The body is a brilliant machine, but it depends on gravity to do its job. When we sit upright or walk after eating, the digestive system moves food downward with the help of both muscular action and natural positioning. But when we recline, or worse, lie flat after a meal, that process is disrupted. Instead of staying in the stomach where it belongs, acid can begin to creep upward, escaping into the esophagus. This is where trouble begins. The burning in the chest, the bitter taste in the throat, the sudden cough or voice hoarseness hours later. Many people think it's allergies or a cold. In reality, it's often silent reflux triggered by a simple decision made right after eating. As we age, the valve that separates the stomach from the esophagus, called the lower esophageal sphincter, becomes weaker. It does not close as tightly or as quickly as it used to. That means even a small amount of stomach content can easily push through if you are lying down or slouched. This condition is not only uncomfortable. Over time, it can lead to esophagitis, ulcers, and even a higher risk of esophageal cancer. What begins as an innocent nap becomes a pattern that slowly eats away at your health. You may not even connect the dots at first. Maybe you wake up in the middle of the night with a dry cough. Maybe your throat feels sore in the morning, or you find yourself clearing it more often. These are not random signs. These are messages your body is sending. And what many people do in response is reach for the fastest relief they know. A tablet, a chewable, a spoonful of antacid. Yes, antacids bring temporary relief, but relying on them daily can create more problems than it solves. These medications reduce stomach acid, but they also interfere with the absorption of vital nutrients like calcium, magnesium, and vitamin B12. For older adults, this can lead to brittle bones, fatigue, nerve problems, and even cognitive decline. The longer you mask the symptoms, the more damage may be happening underneath. It's like painting over a crack in the wall without fixing the foundation. The solution isn't to suffer in silence or live in fear of food. It's about understanding what your body needs to digest properly and allowing it to do so without interference. One of the simplest changes you can make is to stay upright after meals. You don't need to go for a jog or do anything strenuous. Just a gentle walk around the house or sitting in a chair with good posture for 20 to 30 minutes is often enough. This small shift allows your stomach to work efficiently and keeps acid where it belongs. Another powerful habit is to be mindful of how much you eat. Large portions put extra pressure on your digestive system, making reflux more likely. It's better to eat smaller meals more frequently than to overload your stomach and hope for the best. Avoid tight clothing around your waist after meals as well, since pressure on the abdomen can push acid upward. Even your breathing plays a role. Deep diaphragmatic breathing after eating can help relax your digestive organs and promote proper flow. It may sound too simple, but studies have shown that breathing exercises can significantly reduce reflux symptoms. Breathing, posture, timing, and portion size. These are not just health tips. They are tools of defense. This is especially important during the evening hours. Late dinners followed by immediate rest are one of the most dangerous combinations for older adults prone to acid reflux. Digestion slows at night, and if you lie down too soon, the risk of reflux increases dramatically. If this happens night after night, the lining of your esophagus suffers. You may not feel it instantly, but inflammation builds, and the damage becomes harder to reverse. Over time, even swallowing can become painful or difficult. None of this means you must give up comfort or change your life completely. But it does mean that your routines matter more than you think. What feels like rest may be costing your stomach its balance. You can still enjoy your afternoons, your quiet moments, your peaceful evenings. But now, you can do so in a way that protects your health rather than eroding it. Digestive health is not about fear. It is about awareness. It is about listening to your body and respecting the way it works. And often, the things that heal are not pills or surgeries, but simple decisions repeated with care. Because comfort should never come at the price of pain. And when you give your body the space it needs to digest in peace, something incredible happens. It thanks you, in silence, in ease, in the steady calm of a system finally allowed to do what it was designed to do. We'd love to hear from you. Share in the comments how your stomach has been feeling lately, or what small change you're inspired to make. And if this content supports your journey, make sure to hit subscribe so we can keep growing healthier together. Sometimes the most dangerous enemies are the ones we cannot see. Not the foods that taste too spicy or feel too greasy, but the ones that appear harmless, the ones we trust, the ones that seem plain or mild, or even labeled as healthy. For many older adults, this quiet trust turns into a daily betrayal because hiding inside their ordinary meals are two silent saboteurs that slowly damage the stomach lining and trigger digestive distress without warning. These saboteurs are excess salt and refined oils. They do not arrive with red flags. They are invisible and everywhere. Start with salt. It is not just the salt you sprinkle from a shaker. It is hidden in processed bread, crackers, soups, cheeses, and even foods labeled as light or diet. A slice of white bread, a handful of pretzels, a bowl of canned soup. These foods do not taste very salty, but their sodium content is staggering. And when consumed day after day, the salt accumulates in the body. In the stomach, high sodium intake weakens the protective mucus barrier and makes the lining more susceptible to acid. It also increases the risk of stomach inflammation and can exacerbate conditions like gastritis or ulcers. Older adults are particularly vulnerable because the stomach's natural defense system becomes less efficient over time. Combine that with a long history of processed foods, and you create the perfect storm. The salt continues to wear down the lining, the acid penetrates deeper, and symptoms like burning, bloating, and indigestion become more frequent. What makes it worse is that many people are unaware of how much salt they are actually consuming. They believe that because they are not adding salt themselves, they are eating a low-sodium diet. But the truth is, most of the salt comes from inside the food before it even reaches the table. Now consider the second saboteur, refined vegetable oils. These oils are used in nearly every packaged snack and fast food meal. They are inexpensive, easy to cook with, and give food that satisfying, crispy texture. But they come at a high cost. Oils like soybean, corn, canola, and sunflower oil are heavily processed, often with chemical solvents and high heat. This process strips away nutrients and leaves behind unstable compounds that promote inflammation. When these oils are heated repeatedly, as in frying, they form toxic substances that irritate the stomach and slow digestion. Think of fried snacks, pastries, store-bought cookies, margarine, and salad dressings. All are packed with these refined oils. Even homemade foods can become harmful if cooked using the wrong oil. A pan of fried vegetables or eggs made with generic cooking oil may seem like a healthy meal, but could still introduce harmful compounds into your system. These oils do not just cause trouble in the stomach. They are linked to chronic inflammation throughout the body, which affects joints, heart, brain, and of course, the digestive system. The real danger is in repetition. One small exposure might not do much, but when you eat the same types of oil and salt every day for years, the damage adds up. It is not one big mistake. It is 1,000 tiny cuts. And your stomach is the one that suffers quietly, day after day, meal after meal. You may start noticing symptoms like stomach cramps, irregular bowel movements, acid reflux, or a general feeling of heaviness after eating. Many people chalk it up to age or slow metabolism, but often it is inflammation caused by these ingredients that is to blame. What can you do to fight back? The first step is awareness. Start reading labels. If you cannot pronounce the oil, it is probably not something your stomach will appreciate. Choose olive oil instead. Use it raw over cooked foods or in gentle sautés. Coconut oil and avocado oil are also more stable and less inflammatory when used properly. Avoid foods that come in boxes and packages whenever possible. Instead of salty crackers, try unsalted rice cakes with hummus. Instead of margarine, use a thin layer of real butter or a mashed avocado. Small swaps that protect the stomach instead of punishing it. When it comes to salt, focus on flavoring your meals with herbs, garlic, lemon, or natural spices. You do not need bland food to be healthy. You need real food that respects your body. And once you begin making these changes, something remarkable happens. Your digestion improves. Your stomach feels lighter. That constant burn or fullness after meals begins to fade. You start to trust your body again. What most people never realize is that the stomach is not just a bag that digests food. It is a sensitive and intelligent organ that responds to everything you give it. The quality of your ingredients matters more now than ever. As we grow older, our margin for error becomes smaller, but our power to heal never disappears. With every bite, you are either feeding inflammation or feeding restoration. It is easy to think that one cookie, one slice of cheese, one fried snack is no big deal. And maybe by itself, it is not. But when it becomes routine, when it becomes a lifestyle, that is when the body begins to change. Not overnight, not with explosions, but slowly, subtly, and persistently. Until one day, your stomach can no longer whisper. It starts to scream. And by then, reversing the damage is harder. But if you listen closely now, you will hear what your body has been trying to tell you all along. That the food you trust may be turning against you. That the meals you love can love you back if prepared with care. That healing does not mean sacrifice. It means awareness. And the moment you start choosing what supports your digestion instead of what sabotages it, you take the first step toward a kind of wellness that no pill can provide. Tell us in the comments which part of this video resonated with you most. Was there something you've been doing without realizing it? And if you want more videos that support your health and peace of mind, subscribe now and stay with us on this path. There is a kind of pain that does not always begin with food. It does not come from oils or sugar or the acidity of a drink. It comes from within, from emotions we bury, worries we carry, and a constant current of stress that flows through our lives without pause. As we grow older, this internal tension often becomes heavier. The loss of routine, the slowing down of the body, the shift in roles and purpose. These moments create invisible waves that ripple through our entire system. And one of the first places they strike is the stomach. Many people describe it as a tightness, a knot, a pressure in the belly that comes and goes. Some call it a nervous stomach. Others think it is just age. But what is really happening is a powerful connection between the mind and the gut. This connection is not symbolic, it is biological. The gut and the brain are linked by the vagus nerve, a communication highway that carries signals in both directions. When we feel anxious or stressed, the brain sends alerts that directly impact the stomach. It may slow digestion, increase acid production, or even trigger spasms and inflammation. You might not notice it at first. A little bloating, a bit of nausea, maybe some heartburn that seems to appear out of nowhere. But over time, the signs grow stronger. The body is trying to speak, trying to say that emotional discomfort is becoming physical, that unspoken grief, financial worries, loneliness, or health fears are manifesting in the gut. And if ignored, this stress can not only disrupt digestion, but compromise the immune system, alter the balance of gut bacteria, and even make you more vulnerable to chronic illness. The truth is, our digestive system is deeply sensitive to how we feel. When we are calm, the body enters what is called the rest and digest state. In this state, blood flow is directed to the stomach and intestines, enzymes are released, and digestion flows smoothly. But when we are in fight or flight mode, even at a low level of stress, that entire process is interrupted. Digestion becomes secondary. Food sits longer in the stomach. Acid builds up. Reflux becomes more likely. And meals that once nourished now feel like burdens. This is why so many people in their later years feel a shift they cannot explain. They eat the same foods, but suddenly feel worse. Their medications remain unchanged, yet symptoms appear. The missing piece is often emotional stress. And unfortunately, in our culture, this kind of stress is rarely acknowledged, especially in older adults. People assume that once you retire, the stress is gone. But emotional challenges only change shape. They do not disappear. The good news is that just as the body responds to stress, it also responds to peace. And sometimes the most powerful treatment does not come in a prescription bottle, but in the way we live our days. Deep breathing, taken seriously, has been shown to activate the vagus nerve and return the body to a relaxed state. Not just mentally, but physically. Practicing slow breathing for just 5 minutes a day can lower cortisol levels, ease muscle tension, and support healthier digestion. Creating calm routines also helps. Eating meals at regular times, sitting down to eat with focus instead of rushing or eating in front of screens, walking slowly after meals, listening to music that soothes you, talking to someone you trust. These things are not just feel-good moments. They are medicine for the gut, and they cost nothing. They require only intention. If you find yourself eating with fear, worrying that any bite will trigger a symptom, it is time to step back and look at the whole picture. Healing begins not just with food, but with how you experience that food. Whether you are chewing in a rush or taking time to enjoy, whether you are distracted or present, whether your body feels safe or on edge. Every emotion leaves a trace. Every thought becomes part of your internal chemistry. And when you begin to honor that connection, you take back power over how you feel. One simple practice you can begin today is a gratitude pause before eating. Not a religious ritual, unless you wish it to be, but a quiet moment where you breathe and think of one thing you are grateful for. This small act tells your nervous system that you are safe, that you are grounded, and that it is okay to relax. Over time, this can reset your digestive rhythm and even change how your body reacts to food. You deserve to eat in peace. You deserve to feel light and calm after a meal. You deserve to live without the constant fear that your own body is working against you. It is not. It is calling out for help in the only language it knows, through sensations, through signals, through symptoms that are not punishments, but invitations to listen closer. And if you have made it this far, it means you care. It means you are ready to take your well-being seriously. Not with harsh diets or complicated rules, but with kindness, with awareness, with the understanding that healing is not about perfection. It is about paying attention, taking small steps, building new patterns, one gentle choice at a time. So thank you. Thank you for giving your health the attention it deserves. Thank you for choosing to learn, to reflect, to change. You are not alone in this journey, and everything you do today is planting a seed for how you will feel tomorrow. If this video helped you, please consider subscribing and sharing it with someone who might need it. And if you are ready to go even deeper into understanding your body and discovering natural ways to feel better every day, the next video is already on your screen. We will see you there.